So when you was in the joint, right? So you of course you ain't there in your formative years. So what ultimately led you to like waking up, so to speak? What was you doing to transform?
Yeah, as opposed to just kind of laying back and being a badass, if you will, just doing. Um, I want to say it's probably my mother, man. I remember going to court, right? They took me back to court for something. All I can remember during the ride was how long of a trip it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my mother was coming up there every 2 weeks. They was allowing us to get visits every 2 weeks. I'm like, she coming up here every 2 weeks on this long ass. So somebody kept telling me I had people around me that was like, man, you need to get your GED, this and that. You know what I'm saying? So I listened to that. I got my GED, and just seeing how the reaction was to my mother coming up to graduation in the chapel. You know how that is. Seeing my reaction to my mother. So I'm like, all right, let me go on and enroll into college too. You know what I'm saying? So I can get that same feeling. But the college atmosphere incarcerated was it was a positive one. They told you, the professors told you, it gave you a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where the mental aspect of me kind of turned the tides, if you will, occurred when I started going to college, and then start taking in everything. You know what I'm saying? The sociology classes, the psychology classes. You know what I'm saying? Certain business classes they was offering. So everything started turning around on that aspect. But it wasn't easy, man. It was a journey, just like everything else.
Right.
So
I do got a question. When you catch your case at 15 years old, you said, I was just bad, just doing stuff just bad. Now that you done been through college and you got degrees with sociology and stuff like that, what do you feel like you was missing at 15 years old that made you be so bad, as you say? Like, is there something that you look back on and be like, if I had this,
That's
and
an
that,
excellent
I don't
question.
feel like I would have been doing that, or is it something you was missing?
Absolutely. At 46, right? Everything I done been through in my life, I kind of, I still reflect on certain things, right? So my mother passed away of cancer, right? So when she passed away, a lot of things came out, right?
While you was in prison?
Nah, I was fortunate enough to be out here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that was another thing in itself too. You know what I mean? Everything, happens for a reason, if you will.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? So when my mother passed away, right? She was married. You know what I'm saying? She was married to an individual, right? And now that seeing it, it's like you really wasn't a true father figure. You know what I'm saying? For me. You know what I mean?
And
What makes a difference?
It do.
Come on
And
now.
what made me ask you that question was when you said when you made your first accomplishment, getting your GED, you said the look on your mother's face and how proud of you she
Absolutely.
was,
Absolutely.
and that made you want to do more.
Yeah.
So that just stuck out to me. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, mothers and sons is always gonna have a special. I don't care who it is. Unfortunately, we got certain instances where
You
it's
right.
not the case.
You right. It's something about a boy.
But
I try to
for the
tell
most
Vicky
part,
she got our boys.
I got
She
our
don't
boys.
understand.
Yeah. For
I
the
love
most
my
part, it's like,
daughters, but them sons.
and them boys is gonna love their mama. You know what I mean?
Man.
They ain't necessarily gonna be mama's boys, but they gonna love their mama though. You know what I mean? And make sure she good. But that was something that me and my mother always been close because I take after my mother. You know what I mean? I used to call her my twin, so we was close in that regard. So and I know. So I'm gonna take it back just a little bit. When I first got locked up, right? It was real public, you know what I'm saying? They put all on the news, this and that, right? So I couldn't see my mother for a minute, right? You know what I'm saying? They had me in the Hope Unit or whatever. But when I first seen her, she had been balling so much from the previous night before, right? That it was like, it was residue, you know what I'm saying, from tissue, you know what I'm saying, from her eyes. And I just always knew at that moment, I ain't never want to see that hurt in my mother's eyes again.
That's-
Right? That was some real, you know what I'm saying?
And
So,
you know what? I'm gonna go.
like,
Nah, that's deep, though.
Because
Like-